So welcome to another episode of Badass Banking, and today we have a special episode, I guess you call it. I've got Jim Craig from Conotext. That's Jim. Hopefully you can see him down on the left, and Paula Tompkins from ChannelNet. Paula, why don't we let you start off? I know we're going to talk about a partnership in a minute, but tell everybody quickly a little about ChannelNet.
Well, ChannelNet has two very exciting offerings for credit unions and banks. One is a digital customer member engagement platform that allows us to curate content, consume data on the members or the customers, and communicate one-on-one messaging with those customers and members for our credit unions and banks. The other is a brand new offering built around the same platform called virtual branches. And so we're just getting a tremendous interest in both of them as the world has changed and there's a new normal and digital reigns. So banks and credit unions recognize, especially the CEOs and the board of directors, that they have to change. They cannot live in the old world anymore.
This is true. Speaking of the old world, Jim, you're an old friend of mine. Tell us about Conotext.
Well, yep, definitely. We go back a little ways, Brian, but yes, Conotext is a relatively new kid on the block. Been around for almost 3 years now. But, you know, as an extension of my 25 plus years in credit unions, community banks, basically connecting digital solutions to the in-person service that credit unions and banks offer their customers, really just making that connection between the bank credit union brands and the digital channels to all that expertise that they have sitting in those call centers and branches.
So it's been about, let's say 11 years since Pete Glyman, Sean, Brett King, Alex Sion, and I introduced the term engagement banking. The other day I was on a call with the CEO of Movin', and we're using that term aggressively once again. You know, this whole concept of being able to engage an audience in very contextual and relevant ways and leveraging content intelligently is an opportunity. And I think COVID is bringing more attention conceivably to the opportunity that obviously digital presents. Paula, why don't you start off? Tell us a little about the partnership that Conotext and ChannelNet now have.
Well, we just couldn't be more excited. In fact, we have a webinar coming up on the 22nd, and where we'll be demonstrating our capability, both our personal engagement, personal pages, personal landing pages, as well as our virtual branches. And of particular interest and why the partnership is so strong, in my opinion, is that Jim's expertise in content, his expertise in referral and his referral engine, which is hugely important in today's market, and also because of his search optimization. So our virtual branches, for example, we can either put up a local branch, a virtual local branch, and feature the local details of each branch and connect them, the consumer or the member or customer, with the local people through the virtual branch, and or we can combine that with the referral engine. We can populate content, and it's very important to search optimize those virtual branches. And those are all sweet spots for Jim. So it's really a great marriage.
So let me just clarify it a little bit and ask some questions and maybe make some comments along the way. So the virtual branch concept is to create digital footprints for any bank or credit union location. Is that correct?
Exactly. It can be a central location.
Yep.
As we see with some of our clients like Chase, they're interested in that, Alliant. Or it can be a local branch, which we can then locally search. and
Right.
it can feature the local people at the local branch. And our job is to bring, like Jim said, we want to bring the expertise to the members in need or the customers in need.
Right.
And typically, you can't, a lot of these products, if you need debt consolidation help, lending help, if you need, investment planning, any refinancing, any of that kind of stuff, you typically need to talk with a knowledgeable person.
Right.
And now with the ability to conduct a virtual meeting, and people have gotten used to that pretty much across the board, it's an ideal time to really launch that virtual branch capability.
Right. And
We'll
branch.
even go so far as to set it up as a line of business.
Mhm.
So it can be a business virtual branch, a commercial virtual branch, it can be a retail commercial branch, or it can be a private wealth management kind of virtual branch. So it's really designed to help connect people in the new normal.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, right now, with COVID and everything, branch visits are down. If they're occurring, it's all appointment set, appointment based, I guess would be a better way to put it. We're using the drive-in. I used the drive-in to get something notarized the other day. I had to get a permission slip in essence first and make an appointment to do it. And that entailed, calling them. It probably would have been a little easier if I could have scheduled it right online through my mobile app or something like that. But
There
the
you
idea
go.
here, you're going to be able to give these physical locations a digital identity in essence, and that gives the consumer they still have that human relationship that can occur. It's just going to be a little more digital now. Now, Jim, where do you fit in on this? I mean, you and I've talked about this for years, about online reputation, but how do you fit in?
Well, it's basically gives my clients the virtual branch pages and the one-click personal pages really give my clients the ability to better engage with existing customers and members. I mean, I've worked very hard to develop a lot of acquisition tools to really help my clients acquire new customers through the digital channels, whether that be organic search, paid, display, the referral engine product, that I offer. Really we're hitting on all cylinders in terms of the acquisition side. But when I met with Paula and her team and saw the personal pages and the virtual branch concept, it was just like it just the light bulb went off as far as this was the kind of thing that would really help my clients move further into actual relationship development with new and existing customers to really find ways to find that next product, to connect somebody with a question to one of their experts that they would have. That's one of the big things I've always talked about in my presentations is that you've got all this expertise sitting in your branches, but everybody's online looking for answers. You need to find a way to connect those two. And I really think these virtual branch pages are a great way to connect the questions people have with the experts that you have that can answer those questions, because no Q&A, FAQ, chat bot is going to answer those questions as well as a human being.
Yeah, you're looking to create engagement and dialogue and conversation, and this is about personalizing the experience. That's what this is about, and it goes back
driving them down the funnel, right? The sales funnel.
Yeah.
Because it's the human that is going to end up closing the deal. Technology has not really learned to close the deal.
Yeah.
So it's counseling, it's being helpful, it's steering them in the right direction, giving them ideas, and that comes through the human connection.
And Paula, you've done this for over 28 years in the auto manufacturing business, connecting the manufacturer to the sales funnel via the dealers.
That's right. And the one thing that I preach to my credit unions and banks that we work with and talk to is they could learn something from the auto industry, and that it's all about leads, leads, leads. And it's driving those people into the top of the funnel. It's engaging with them as they move through the funnel. And the auto dealers have come a long, long way. I remember in the early days when we invented the world's first dealer websites for Ford Motor Company, we had dealers call up screaming at us, don't show my inventory online, because the guy next door is a competitor, right? And he might have similar inventory. But now, can you imagine going to a dealer website that doesn't have inventory,
Yeah.
real-time inventory? So it just shows you how far they've come. Now they've got their issues, and that's a different story. But banks and credit unions have way too long lived on the fact that branches were the king of the point of the spear.
Right.
Now digital's the point of the spear. And that's what has to change. And it's really hard to engage people digitally.
Yeah.
Relevancy is very, very tough. And it requires data, it requires intelligence, it requires the ability to message appropriately and not just blast offers. It's all about social media engagement, YouTube videos, educational materials that are relevant to what that customer or member is in search of.
Right. Very customer centric, built off of data, making the communications very contextual. So
exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
that makes sense. And that's something Jim's talked about for decades since he was at First Advantage. It's trying to get the banks and the credit unions to leverage data so that they can, truly benefit from it and put some ROI around it. Sounds like this is the kind of thing you can put ROI around. So who are some of the clients, who are some of ChannelNet's clients today?
Well, we work with JP Morgan Chase. We work with Huntington Bank. We work with Unify Federal Credit Union, Weoki Federal Credit Union, 5 Point, a whole series of them, Pyramid, all shapes and sizes. So we've tiered our product in a way so that it's affordable for the small, medium, and large bank and credit union.
Yep.
And meets the different needs of those credit unions and banks.
Now, Jim, how about you? Who are some of the clients you're working with these days?
Oh gosh, runs the gamut from helping some very small credit unions, $20, $30 million credit unions, all the way up to large credit unions like Service Credit Union in the Northeast, In Touch Credit Union in Texas, Robbins Financial, so kind of Penn Air, all over the place. Those are some of my larger clients. Like I said, I help clients of all sizes with both the digital advertising and the SEO, as well as referral engine to help them grow their member base through referrals and through the other digital channels that are available to them.
Gotcha. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a link to the press release, which I saw the other day on CU Insight, I think it was. I'll put a link to both your websites as well, so people can go out and kind of kick the tires, to use an automobile term, and learn more about you. You guys are both very approachable. I've known you both for quite some time, especially you, Jim. I'll put your LinkedIn information below too, as well as any social media credentials that you have. Paula, I don't know if you're on social media personally. I know ChannelNet is. Are you on there personally too?
Oh, yes.
Okay, I'll find you and put your info in there.
Okay.
Any final words before we end this special edition of Badass Banking?
Definitely put the link on for the webinar on there, Brian.
Okay.
Encourage everybody to come to the webinar and see these platforms in action.
Okay. Listen, I really appreciate your time. I wish you guys the best of luck. I'm excited about the partnership. The market really needs this right now. COVID's really stressing some people out, but it's also causing some remarkable innovation. I do think that there's an evolution that's occurring here, and these are exciting times that we're in. So
I agree.
I appreciate it. Again, I'll put all your contact info below.
Thank you.
All right. Nice talking with you, Brian.